Are your kitchen and bathroom way overdue for a remodel? Well, I got the guy for you. Call John Sellers at First Response Contracting, 484-256-7136. Both residential and commercial services, and he's licensed and insured. Call him at 484-256-7136. First Response Contracting. Hello, this is Brad Weisman. You listen to Real Estate and You, where each week we're talking about all kinds of stuff real estate. And I have an awesome guest in front of me right now. Her name is April Crossley. She came all the way from, where were we at, Florida last?
Yep.
You were in Florida last time? She came from Florida just to talk to me, and it makes me feel really good about the show here. So we have April Crossley here. I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time. We had a settlement together, I think it was maybe a year ago.
Yes.
And I kind of picked your brain a little bit about what you were doing, and I wanted to keep that conversation going. So tell me about the fact that you were at another job 6 years ago,
Yep.
and now you're flipping homes like crazy,
Yeah.
and also teaching people how to flip homes.
Yeah.
How did you get to that point?
Simply by picking up a book and reading a book. My husband was into real estate. He had a book on real estate investing. He had 2 small rental properties, and I picked up this book all about like buying houses and flipping houses and buying rental homes. And
What was the book?
The 1 Minute Millionaire.
Interesting. Do you remember who's the author?
I don't remember the author,
Okay.
but it's a very distinguishable book. Sorry, because it has a yellow cover with like purple pages. On the
Okay.
inside.
Okay, that's different. That'll definitely stand out, the purple
Yeah,
pages.
It definitely sticks
So
out.
one book.
One book,
And
I
you were
was-
like, you felt, wow, this is what I want to do.
I was like, this is insane. I think I just started just so I could prove the book wrong. I was almost
interesting.
like, there's no way you can buy a house and someone's going to live in it and rent it out, pay off your mortgage, and you keep the equity. And I get to keep that chunk of money. I just kept saying
Right.
that to my husband. I don't understand. And he's like, yeah, that's really how it works. So I just started becoming fascinated with real estate,
Interesting.
dropped out of my master's program, and the rest is history.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So you that part I didn't know. So you were going for your master's?
Yeah, I wanted to be the CEO of a hospital. So I was like all in on my master's degree and everything. And I dropped out of my master's program so I could like learn real
Wow.
estate on the side. Yeah.
That's incredible.
yeah.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? I think when you have, there's something that tells you inside yourself. I mean, and then just a little segue is when Susan and I went to do this, Keller Williams. It's the same kind of thing. We left something that was comfortable and good.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we needed to take on more stress, and you kind of did the same. You just
Yeah.
jumped out there and did it.
Yeah. And like anyone that tells you being self-employed is less stressful, it's like
It's not.
You make the jump and you're self-employed and you own your own business or like your own brokerage or whatever.
Yeah.
You work 100 times harder
Absolutely.
than you ever did when you worked for someone else.
But it's different because it's for you.
Yes.
And it's also, it's almost like it's your baby too.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
we take it very personal because when you're doing your own thing, when you're creating your own way, you take it very serious.
Yeah.
Very serious. So you go from reading this book and now all of a sudden you're like, all right, I'm going to prove the book wrong. This can't be possible.
Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah.
And it's very possible because look at you, what you're doing now. So
Right.
I was on YouTube, I was on the internet, I was on Facebook. You're all over the place, and you're really making a big impression on YouTube. And a lot of
Yeah.
people are listening to your videos. Tell me about getting started with that. You know, because saying you're going to flip homes, there's hundreds of thousands of people that flip homes, but you don't know who they are.
Yeah.
You're sharing your experience.
Yeah.
Tell me about that journey.
I think just because it was so amazing. When I first started on YouTube, I didn't really expect to have a ton of followers, or I didn't even know you could monetize YouTube. I knew nothing about it. I just was like, I have to tell people about this
Right.
because this has completely changed my life. I mean, I was like I was a teenage mom. I was not financially educated. And here I am making more money flipping houses than I am at my full-time job.
Right.
Like people need to hear about this. So I just started talking about it out of excitement.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started speaking, and I was at a speaking event. I met this guy that helps people with YouTube, and he was like, please tell me you're on YouTube. I was
Wow.
like, I am, but it's embarrassing, my channel.
Yeah. No, your
My
channel's good
My
now.
channel's not real professionally done. So we kind of teamed up, and he started helping me edit videos and stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you do the video editing yourself, or do you send it
He
out?
does it. Yep,
He
I
does
send it
Okay.
out. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it does look really good. I mean, your YouTube stuff looks great. Looks very professional. If you get a chance, anybody that's listening, it is called, your YouTube channel is what? Just
It's
April.
just
Just search
April
April
Crossley.
Crossley, right?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
And she's got all kinds of stuff on here. I'm looking on it right now. I mean, you have running numbers for newbies, finding off-market. Oh, the one that caught my eye was the cockroaches one.
Yeah. Everyone likes that one. Yeah.
And what was funny is it caught my eye. I'm like, oh, I definitely want to hear about the cockroach house. This is definitely interesting.
Yeah.
So now you're doing speaking arrangements. You co-authored a book.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's called Only Women in the Room?
The Only Woman in the Room.
Only Woman in the Room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another female real estate investor who's like way more badass than me. She buys huge apartment buildings, and she asked all these women who have been successful in real estate to kind of come together and talk about, why have you been successful in real estate? What sets you apart as a woman? And every chapter kind of teaches you a lesson about something in real estate, whether it's multifamily or private money or flipping houses.
Right.
Every author teaches a lesson in their chapter. So it was really cool to do. I got to meet a ton of like great other women in real estate investing.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So let's dig in a little bit deeper. You talk a lot about the private money.
Yeah.
How does that work? What exactly is private money? Because a lot of people don't know what that means.
Yeah, and I didn't know either. When I first started flipping houses, I had no money. So when we found our first deal, we went to someone who was already flipping that had experience. And he was like, yeah, I'll partner with you and we'll split the profit. And at the end of the deal, he got paid, we got paid, and this other guy got paid. And I thought our partner was bringing the money and we were bringing the deal. And he's like, no, I use somebody else's money. It's called private money. So it's when you use, it's basically like, there's lots of people out there who have like old retirement accounts, or they used to do real estate, but they're burnt out on it, but they have money to invest, but they want to do it passively. So they lend it to real estate flippers and people that buy rental property, and they get a way better rate of return than what they would get in a bank account. So it's a way for them to make the return of real estate without having to actually do it. They're not looking for the deal. They're not working on the house. They're not doing the grunt work.
Yeah.
Really.
So it's basically, here's the money. You do what you need to do to make me more money.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes. Yeah.
And I guess and for the investor, if you do your numbers correctly, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you're using money that's not yours.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be responsible with it.
Yeah.
But you're using money that's not yours, and then you're sitting there at the table and you're grabbing your chunk. The private money guys grabbing their chunk.
Yeah.
And everybody's happy.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like it
all
works.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
When you run your numbers right. I mean, I tell people, I'm like, we've bought over 40, 50, whatever units of rental property, and I've never used a dime of my own money. So I've never purchased a property with any of my own money, but I own that property, all the equity, all the cash flow, everything, but someone else paid for it.
And actually, it's not like you're taking advantage of anybody, because
Oh my gosh,
they're
they
making
love
money
it.
too.
Oh, they love it. There's private lenders all the time we do private lending as well. So you're always looking for good borrowers. And it's like, where else am I going to be able to have this freedom and not have to like work on these deals, but still make this return?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Now, so I heard you talk about in the one thing you were talking about buckets. You have these buckets that you put the money in. And I think you were in Florida when you talked about that.
Yep.
And you were saying with the buckets of money, one of the buckets you do is putting money away for private lending now, right? Is that what you do?
Yeah, because I think for me, financial freedom is freedom. It's not being tied to a business. It's being able to travel wherever I want in the United States, do whatever I want to do, but still make the return of real estate without having to be so actively involved. So my goal is to be the biggest private lender I can be. Some people want thousands of units.
Yeah.
I want to stack away as much money as I can to private lend.
That's good. Well, and I understand why, because the private lending gives you more freedom.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because your money's, it's the Robert Kiyosaki thing.
Yeah.
Have your money work for you instead of you working for your money.
Yes.
Yes. I read that book.
Yes.
I love that book.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all good stuff. So you're talking about the financial freedom, and that's interesting because financial freedom does not mean you're a gazillionaire.
No.
It just means that you're able to do what you want to without having to work every day to do those things.
Yes.
Passive income is a huge thing. And we talk about that a lot in Keller Williams here, is passive income, because that's important.
Yes.
Because the older you get, the less you want to work, and also the less your body wants to work.
Yes.
So you got to have that passive income. It's the same as buying stocks and stuff. Except I think in real estate, you're more responsible for it.
Right. Yeah.
We never know what the CEO of Apple's doing, but we know what we're doing with the money, right?
Yeah. And you have this tangible asset, which is what people love about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what do you see yourself doing? Just keep doing the private money lending and so you're actually out there looking to lend money to people.
Yeah, and we still borrow from private lenders. So I still have a flip business. I have a team, so I still flip in Berks County, but my business runs pretty much without
by itself.
Me. My job is just I raise private funds and I do marketing. And we don't buy any small rentals anymore. We're kind of looking for bigger, larger apartment buildings and mobile home parks and stuff like that. And the whole goal is to just buy bigger and keep flipping so we can stack away money and keep doing more and more private lending.
So what would you tell somebody? Because a lot of your stuff on YouTube, and I got to tell you, anybody's listening to this, if you want to learn how to do this, she breaks it down just on everything. You break down everything on how to do this, which is a really nice gift back to the community and back to other people, because you have this talent to do what you're doing. To be able to provide that to other people is very, very cool, and I commend you on that. But there's the other thing is the Lazy Girl Real Estate, which is your website, I believe, right? Or one of the websites. Yeah.
I used to do a lot of coaching for people that were new to flipping and new to buying rental properties. And I have a website called Lazy Girl REI. And that's basically my coaching branch where I help people learn how to do that. Yeah.
And I love that too. It's a great website. I mean, there's just a lot on there, and there's a lot where you can actually get on there and get more from you. You can do some private type lessons or whatever you want to call it that way. So that's really cool. So what would you tell somebody? Let's just say I'm a new investor. I'm just coming out and I'm like, you know what? I have no idea where to turn, how to do this. What would you say? Like what should they do?
Yeah. Hands down, I tell people right out the gate, get a mentor. Get a mentor. And that doesn't necessarily mean paid. Right away, people think, I'm new, I have no money, I can't pay someone.
Right.
I tell people all the time, if you want to learn about real estate investing, what makes real estate investors business tick is deals. We all need deals, whether it's apartment building deals or flip projects or whatever. There's things real estate investors that are experienced can give you to do that you have to add value to their business for them to want to add value to you. Okay. So I tell people my free give back is on YouTube.
Yep.
But if you want me to teach you how to do real estate investing and you can't pay for that, then you somehow have to be adding value to my business, whether that's driving for dollars, looking for deals, bringing me deals. If a newbie brings me something and they're like, hey, this house looks like it's in disrepair and they might want to sell, we will chase that lead all day long till we get a contract on it. And then I'll go back to them and say, listen, we did all the marketing. We have the contract. Do you want to flip the house together?
Oh,
do you want me to pay you a fee? Do you
that's
want
really nice.
Do you want to learn along the way? How do you want to do this? I'm more than happy to teach people along the way. So I guess
they got to have a buy-in.
Yeah. When I say find a mentor, I don't necessarily mean paid, but if you're not paying, you're going to have to add some kind of value and hustle for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. And there's a lot of books too. I think books obviously can get you started also. But I think you're right. Mentoring and modeling after somebody is definitely good. Coach, we call it coaching a lot today.
It helps you get unstuck. Sometimes you
absolutely.
just need someone to help you get unstuck.
And why reinvent the wheel, right?
Right.
That's the other thing, because I'm sure there's a lot of things you learned along the way that you could say, don't do that.
Yeah,
that's a bad idea. Like, don't buy a house with cockroaches because you have to spray it 6 times. Is that what it was? 6 times. I have experience with cockroaches too. We'll have to talk about that afterwards. I used to own a lot of properties in the city, and I have experience with cockroaches.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of experience, more than I want. But I really, really appreciate you coming out here today. No this was just so fun, and I want to have you back, actually, because I think we can go more in depth on a lot of these different things. And is there anything else that you want to say, or anything you can think of that you'd be like, you know what, I just want to get this out there?
I just want to tell people, if you want it, you can completely change your life with real estate. Completely change your life and impact so many other lives and help so many other people through it.
That's cool. That's very cool. Well, great to talk to you.
You too.
Thanks for coming out today.
Thanks for having me.
So there you have it. April Crossley. That was really cool. I had a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. So, yes, come back next time. Listen to us. You can see us on live stream too, which is on Real Estate and You on Facebook, and you'll see us on YouTube. And make sure you check out April Crossley. I almost called you Eric Crossley. Yeah, it's weird. April Crossley on YouTube and everywhere else, too. All right. Take care. Are your kitchen and bathroom remodels a little overdue? Well, now's your chance to call First Response Contracting. John Sellers will take care of you. 484-256-7136. They do residential and commercial, and they're licensed and insured. Give them a call at 484-256-7136.